Yo, welcome to Flight School TV, man. I got a good guest today. I'm personally a super big fan of your work. One of the youngest out here doing it, in my opinion, one of the best artists out here doing it, flat out. Period. I'm with the right artist. I don't want to mispronounce your name and mess it all up. Is it Malachi?
Yes, Malachi.
All right, cool. Do you got an artist name or you go by your government?
I just go by Malachi. My Instagram name the right artist, but people just call me Malachi.
All right, for sure, man. Thanks for being on the show today, man. I've been following you for a minute. I'm a big fan of your work, man.
Appreciate that as well.
So, first, before we get into anything, man, how are you doing in the midst of this pandemic that we in, man? Like, everybody holding up pretty good?
Yeah, everybody holding up us around. Everybody just trying to stay safe as possible. It's been a letdown. Everything going on because I'm in my senior year, so a lot be getting canceled, like with prom and graduation. They all trying to do all that kind of stuff virtually. So it's like, it's upsetting, but so you just got to look past it.
Yeah, I've been seeing people like even wear they prom outfits outside and people driving down the streets waving at them like a parade or something. I'm like, man, people really trying to get creative in this time.
Yeah, I know. I guess you gotta do what you gotta do, but
But how would you say this has either helped or hurt your creativity as far as like creating?
man, personally, I feel like it put me in this position. Like I ain't gonna lie, like maybe like I was kind of like unmotivated, like at the start of it because just with everything was going on, like. But like I was trying to do my best, in these times, just like trying to find creativity. But I feel like that sometimes it's like with me being stuck in the house, I like to get out and like get inspired about a world. So like being confined to just being at home, it's kind of put me in a position where it's like I kind of like feel like stuck. But like I feel like at a time like towards the like let's say a few weeks ago, I was starting to be able to get a little bit more motivated. I guess it was just me realizing that this is what the world is like right now. So I just gotta like
Accept it and adapt.
yeah.
But I just feel like the fact that you understand what you want to do and you still in high school, most people don't figure out what they want to do until they outside of high school and get to college and they still trying to figure it out. They freshman, sophomore year in college. So the simple fact that you already got some sense of direction is already like you already ahead of the game with just that mind state alone. And I just wanted to share that with you just in case, you know what I'm saying? Don't nobody else tell you. I want to tell you, like you ahead of the game and you own something, man. I hope to see you continue to grow. What what type of entertainment you've been taking in during this shelter in place?
What you mean?
Like you've been tuning in to like the Instagram, the music battles, you did you see Tiger King?
Yeah, I watched Tiger King. I watched Tiger King.
Oh man, that shit was hilarious, bro. I was my girl was watching it first and she was like, you gotta see this, you gotta see this. I'm like, I don't want to see them country ass white folks. She like, no, but it's actually entertaining, like it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
So then I started watching, I'm like, oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I see why everybody like why it's a viral moment right now. It's kind of dying down, but
Yeah.
when the pandemic first hit, that was like right on time because everybody was watching it.
Yeah, I kept seeing it on social media. Like, I kept on seeing like talking about Joe Exotic going out. I was like, they was making the jokes. Like, when people making jokes on social media, and I'll be getting them. I'll be wanting to get them. So I feel like there's gonna be some watching.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Once I see like, if I see the meme like pop on my timeline 4 or 5 times, all right, I need to know what's going on because I hate being out the loop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you be the only person on the outside of an inside joke, and I don't like that feeling, man. So I checked it out. What you did you watch the Jordan documentary?
Yeah, I've been keeping up with that.
Man, you being from Chicago, like like you watching it in your age range, like what do you think when you see it?
I mean, personally, it's just like it's pretty cool, just see everything they went through in that, during that time. I personally, like, I was, I knew what was going on with the championships they won, and like, it's just small stuff about the team, but like, you figure it's always drama behind something, but it was it's cool. I just like the way the whole thing is just put together. It's like real engaging to watch. So.
Yeah, that was dope because I'm in the business of creating content, and I'm currently working on a documentary right now that should be out by the end of this year. And they approach, it's kind of like with you being an artist. It's like somebody you see the work that that artist done, but with you being an artist, you understand like the technique a little bit more. You understand certain intricacies, like you'll pick up on certain things that the average person wouldn't, because you're an artist yourself. And when I'm sitting there watching a documentary, I'm noticing certain things because I edit all my content, and I'm looking like, okay, that's their style. And man, they did a real good job with going back and forth between all the years.
Really, yeah, that's what's up. I like how they do that.
Yeah, and man, like honestly, like I couldn't be like this moment right now is for us. This Chicago they talking about. Yeah. Anytime you turn on ESPN or whatever right now, they talking about our city right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's one thing that we could be proud about in this moment. Our city shining in this dark moment.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so man, let's get into your story. Like, walk me through your personal journey of like even becoming an artist. Like, when did you start drawing and all that?
I pretty much been drawing as long as I can remember. Basically, my mom and my older brother, they both are artists. So like, I grew up around them, just seeing them work, and like I could say pretty much my whole life I've been doing it. So it's like, you watch other people do something, it's like automatic. You want to, just see what they doing and, mimic them. And like, it grew into a love, what I'm saying? Something I like to do. It started off as just like a hobby, but then, soon you realize that this is something I could turn into a career. Like I realized that around like 5th grade, people always like tell me what you want to be when you grow up. And like, it was the same answer from when I was a real little kid to now. So like that made me realize I had this vision for a long time, and like I still feel like I got so much further, where I want to go. So like, it's inspiring and like just motivating to see like how many different people I could reach. Like just talking to you, somebody like that's not in my friend group or my family, like just the different kind of people that I'm reaching out to, like and get like on like reaching celebrities and all that. Like it's always something you dream of doing, but then when you actually doing it's like it take a minute to actually for it to hit you.
Yeah. What was that moment where you was like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna really do this? Like instead of a hobby, you turn it into something that you're gonna really do.
Well, I'll say as early as like 5th grade is like when people, always throughout school, I had people asking me, to draw something for them. Can you do this for me for my work? Draw this for me just so I can have it. So I'm like, let me start charging people like $1, $5 to draw something, put some money in my pocket, you know what I'm saying? So I won't always be asking my parents for stuff. So, it started as just making small money, just, 5th graders ain't paying more than $1 to get no.
Right.
So I got into middle school, it went up to about maybe like $20. I'm doing work for people like $20. So I'm making not that much money, but then I say like at the end of freshman year is when I really start like the money started coming in a little more. So I'm like, it's like I had my first like piece, I guess I say go viral. It was like the rappers in Dragon Ball Z, and that's when I first set up my website. And I had this guy reach out to me. His name is Andrew. He was a printer in Houston, and he reached out to me saying like I would like to print for you and do shirts and whatnot. Because initially I was gonna try to do everything myself, like go get stuff printed and ship it out myself. But then with the amount of orders I was getting, it was basically gonna be impossible for me to try to do all this by myself. So I got the connection with him, and we became like basically business partners, and like it's grew into like this business, like where I'm making money and everything. So it's like I realized that like this definitely could be something. I feel like I personally feel like I wasn't even now like I haven't fully tapped into the business side of the art. Like I feel like I've tapped into it, but not as much as I really can.
Yeah.
So, like like they say, the sky's the limit. So like I feel like I just gotta just push a little even more harder, and shoot, no telling where I could go, with this. You know what I'm saying? With the right people around me.
Yeah, that's a fact, and I think that you already on the right path. I don't even see it as you changing up anything. I I think at this point you just gotta wait till the rest of the world start catching up. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like, and I'm for sure they will. Um, so what would you who would you consider your early inspirations? I know you said your mom do art, and I think you said your brother.
Mm-hmm.
But was there like any mainstream artists that you was looking at to like, you know what? I like that style.
I mean, when I was like, shoot, it was like in elementary school. It was this website called Divine Art, and I don't really. It was just like I remember people was doing digital art, and that's before I was just doing strictly traditional art. But I don't know, like remember too many of the actual artists' names from that website. It was like just collective of different artists on that. But I would just see them kind of artwork, and I would never like know how they do this stuff, like this digital art. I'm like, I used to think it was the paper they was doing it on paper and they're making it look so smooth. So I'm like, how's they doing this? And I realized, what digital art is. So I realized I could take that level, start doing digital art. And once I started doing that, that's when I really like went to another level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like every that the canvas and that approach ain't for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I sat down and I did an interview with an artist that's from Chicago, a Hispanic artist named Royce, and man, his artwork is so detailed, and he was breaking it down like how he do one layer, then he'll do up to like 15 layers on one canvas, and it's all super detailed. But that worked for him, but he don't do none of the digital stuff. And I think the digital stuff, like straight off your Instagram page, I can see you going straight to, creating content for like cartoons. Like I can see you working like with the Boondocks, and I can see your artwork inspiring some level of like a new series of a Boondocks type thing. So I think that digital art has more avenues open to it in 2020.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so one thing I noticed about your art is that, I'm saying, you incorporate a lot of our culture, black people culture, and black people iconic figures like Martin, like Obama, like Chance. I'm noticing that you incorporate these things. Is that on purpose? That's intentional, or is it just doing what you know?
Yeah, it's definitely both. You know what I'm saying? I'm drawn with what I'm growing up around, what I'm seeing on TV and social media, and I'm the people that I don't really draw too many people that I don't like, not inspired by them in no way. So like I feel like if I'm gonna draw you, you gotta have some type of like influence to me, and like I gotta be inspired, to draw you in some way. So like most of the people, like it's just people that inspire me and influence me in some way, and I could just picture them in this kind of way. So I'm like, just experiment. It really is all just an experiment.
Yeah, I like that Malcolm X joint that you had did, man. That was cold. You snapped on that.
Appreciate that.
Who was your first celebrity to follow you on Instagram? Because I know you got a long. I looked at him. I'm like, because I'm following some of them too. I'm like, okay, he got some heavy hitters following this page.
I I don't remember the first celebrity to follow me. I don't.
But when you started seeing like these big names start to follow you, did you feel any type of pressure about not posting the right thing?
Nah, because I figured like the most of the people would just follow me. I didn't expect too much that them would like really like keep up with me. I expect they just follow me, but then leave it at that. So like it didn't really make me want to change in no way. I just kept on doing what I was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I done seen people like when they page start going up, I done seen them take everything down and start from scratch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I keep all my old pictures. I be thinking about deleting my older pictures, but I feel like it's kind of cool like to go down my page and then you see my progression and like
Yeah.
how got better. I thought this was pretty cool to look at.
Yeah, I think that's dope too. Not only for a personal reminder, but it'll make people appreciate your journey. You know what I'm saying? Like you can, so it might be somebody that like you're a senior, it might be a freshman looking at you. Like he might not even tell you because a lot of people being too embarrassed to tell you, like, hey, I'm following what you're doing, like you inspire me. But whole time you might have somebody that's close to you that you inspire, or somebody that you don't even know But if they can look at your page and see where you started, then they can know like, all right, where I'm at is like kind of where he started at. So they can know like they can reach to where you at right now and try to push it even further. So I think that's good for inspiration to keep them post up. Um, what would you say the first piece that you created that really created energy for what you're doing? Like, what would be like your first viral moment?
Oh yeah, like I mentioned, it was a piece I did called, it was like rappers as Dragon Ball Z characters. And I think it was like I first started like posting on Twitter like not too much longer than because I really wasn't on Twitter like that. But I was just occasionally start posting stuff on Twitter, and I can just remember it was overnight. I posted in the morning. I mean, like late at night, like 8 o'clock, and I woke up the next morning. I seen my sister text me like, "World Star reposted your picture," and I'm looking at my Twitter, and it was finals week, mind you, for school. So I'm like, then I ain't never had my phone go off like this. It was constantly ding 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 ding. And I'm like, oh, I gotta put my phone on do not disturb. I need to focus on my finals. But it was exciting. I did real good on my finals then too.
That's what's up, man. Man, I love hearing that shit, man. Like that energy coming your way. I love to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So after you got that energy and your page started going up, like in your mind, what was your next move in your mind?
I mean, that's when I realized I was initially just doing like commissions and artwork for people. But then I remember people was coming under that picture like, hey, you need to start sell this picture, put this on a t-shirt, put this on a hoodie. So I'm like, okay, and then that's when I started my website, and then I started selling posters, canvases, and hoodies and all that. And I remember, so I did that in that Dragon Ball Z style. So I remember from that point on, I was like doing a lot of artwork. Like I was drawing people like as Family Guy characters and like then like other characters from this show, Boondocks characters. Then I ain't gonna lie, after that I was starting to see other artists do it. And I didn't want to say like I guess it was I was kind of like inspiring, like kind of like a wave, like
It is what it is. They can feel some type of way. It is what it is.
and like I was seeing a lot of that. So I'm like, okay, a lot of people doing this now. I don't want to just seem like an artist that would just draw people in another style. So then that's when I got to a point I just wanted to start doing like my traditional style. And I can't remember what the first piece was, but then I just started doing different pieces in that style, and then it became I'll appreciate the pictures I did more in my own style than the other pictures.
Yeah.
It gave me a better feeling, and then I start getting feedback with those pictures, so like even better feedback. So it was like, let me just keep on pushing, grinding out with this. I like the way this feel better too.
Yeah, yeah. I feel that, man. Oh, I mean it gotta be not specifically talking about the drawing people as other characters, but it gotta be frustrating when people screenshot your work and post it on their page but don't at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like from being an artist, like explain to me what's that like, and why people should take the time to show love to the artists that they reposting.
Yeah, I definitely, because I remember those situations that happened to me like early when I was on my Instagram. Like I would see people like steal my artwork, said they did it, and when that first started happening, it was really bothering me because that's when I was like, I didn't have that much of a name. Like I have like maybe like 4,000 followers, so like people were stealing it, other people would believe it. But it kind of got into a point now where people would steal my work and they say, "Hey, this is not your work. We know who did this." So it's like, I got it to a point where I have other people speaking up for me. I don't have to be the only one speaking up for myself. But like it's always a thing. It's just respect. That's the thing everybody learned early. Like I realized like everybody is not the same as you. Everybody don't think the same way as you. Everybody don't want the same thing as you. People steal, and that's just a part of life. And like, but I think it's important, real important for people to give respect to artists because people don't. It's easy for somebody to say somebody made this song, what I'm saying? Because it's hard to say I stole this song. It's hard to say I
Right.
can't steal something like it. But artists,
Exactly.
it's easy. It's an easy thing to steal. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no face behind it unless you really know this artist. So like, I just feel like it's real important just to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, man. That's why I asked that question because man, I don't know how many interviews I've done to this point, and even like I see that even in like fashion, to where they might not steal the exact same thing, but they'll replicate the colorway. You know, I feel like that's a that's a lazy way to gain followers. That's a lazy way to gain anything, like whatever you fame, whatever you looking for. I think that's a super lazy way. And especially like artists that's just trying to break through. Like, man, get the people they credit, man. Like, if you gonna share some on your story, man, just add them. It ain't gonna hurt you. Like, just I think it's just showing respect. If you really like that artist and you enough to repost their work, I mean, I think that's just showing love.
Yeah.
So like I was on, of course I was diving going through your page or whatever. I seen that you had met Steve Harvey and Martin Lawrence. How was that?
And that was an amazing experience. That was, something I'll never forget that experience. So I gotta tell you how that happened. Like, I was in school one day, so basically I'm on a speech team in my school, so I was at practice, and I always just be going through my email. So Steve Harvey already reposted the picture that I did, the barbershop picture. So I'm just going through my email and I see Steve TV. So I click it. They say, is it any chance we could talk about the picture? So I'm thinking maybe Steve Harvey just want to get the picture. So I respond to the email. I say, I'm at school right now. Is there a possible chance we could talk later? They said, actually, it's a chance we want to fly you out to be on the show tomorrow. And then I'm like, they said the next time, I called my parents. I'm like, Mom, man, I need y'all to come to the school right now. They want me to be on the Steve Harvey show.
Yeah, you can't miss that.
So we jumped on a FaceTime call with a lady, one of the producers, and she just wanted to talk to me real quick. And then they said they was gonna fly me out that night to go to LA to be on the show. So I mean, I never felt that kind of high, like being on a cloud nine. I was just like, it felt unreal. Like my first time going to LA was to be on the Steve Harvey show. It felt like a movie, really. So I was just going there that night, and I remember going down the street in LA, and they all said this was the most busiest streets in LA. It was literally like no cars on the street. We was the only one. So it just felt like it was one of the best feelings ever. And I didn't know initially that Martin was gonna be on the show. They told me backstage. They said we got a surprise. They said another one of the comedians that you drew is actually here today, and they said Martin. So I'm like, I don't know what else they could tell me. They just keep gonna hit me with a surprise. There's a surprise. It felt like the best thing ever. And I walked out there. I mean, when I walked out there, and they opened them doors, and it was just a great feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Like, how nervous was you? Like, because like everybody that watched this video got to keep in mind, like this can be considered like your first like TV moment.
Yeah.
Like, so how that had to be like, man, the night before, like, was you even able to get any sleep? I would have been like, man, what I'm aware, like everything.
Because I didn't have no clothes. I had to go to the store that same day and buy something to wear because it was so short notice. And I won't say I'm really nervous. I'm not really like a nervous person when it comes like, I just get more excited. You know what I'm saying? It was just super exciting. And like, and I was like, I'm good at like, talking to people, without really like freezing up or anything. I could just keep on talking. So,
I mean, but how was it to number one be backstage? And I mean, just seeing this, like I'm in media. I've been on the set of a couple movies. Well, not movies, TV series. Mm-hmm. I've been on the set of some TV series, but I never seen like an actual show production like a Steve Harvey where they got a live audience, they got lights everywhere. You got to walk on set. Like, you wasn't worried about tripping on your feet walking towards there, nothing. Like,
that crossed my mind, like, something like that happened, but I just know it would have just been one of the moments that it probably wouldn't have hurt me. It probably would have went viral or something, maybe. But like,
yeah,
I wouldn't mind that. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah, straight up, because that would have boosted your profile even more. Like, straight up, you would have went straight to the moon. But I mean, like, how is Steve? Because I know Steve Harvey from watching like Family Feud, and I remember like he used to do stand up with the Kings of Comedy, And rest in peace to Bernie Mac, man. He is my top 3 comedians ever. And it just works out that he's from Chicago, so I love him even more for that. But like, how was Steve when you met him? Is he like that same person that we see on TV?
Man, that's all I could say. You know, I didn't get the chance to have no really real conversation with him outside of like the being on the actual show, like really none at all. So like, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure like from what it was what the people see, but like, you know, it was as real as possible. It didn't seem like the energy, you know, you feel people's energy. It felt genuine. It all was real genuine.
So since then, have you met a celebrity that was just like, just you had to step back like, dang, that's him or that's her? Like, have you had that moment since then?
Not since then.
Yeah, man, I can see him coming, man. Trust me, like I see it. I see it all coming your way. Have you? One thing that I did want to ask you is, have you ever attempted to create your own character?
Yeah, I did it a lot when I was little, and I kind of been working on some recently. You know, I just kind of, cause I want to get in the process of, like, you know, creating like short stories and like I want to eventually, you know, get like a cartoon series out there. You know, it's something just I'll be working on. Like, you know, I'll be working on the different stuff.
I love to have one of your toys up here one day. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. I think that'd also be dope. So that is something that you're working on though.
Yeah, I would definitely you know, try to get in tune with that.
For sure. So one of the last questions that I wanted to ask you was besides your like personal like success with with financial and social, besides those 2 things, what are some things that you want to get a world with your art?
I feel like just seeing somebody like just inspiring. Like, I want to get to. I'm already, you know, just inspiring people that's younger than me, and even inspiring people that's older than me.
Yep.
Because I feel like, you know, being able to see somebody, you know, that's black, that, you know, I come from like a little small town and nobody knows that's within Chicago. So like, you know, it's just seeing like me being able to do this, like, you know, on my own, really, like, although you know, I have supports and you know, I got guys, so I got all that, you know, but so, you know, just being able to see me, you know, rise from what I rose from, you know, just doing something that I love, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like people always say, you know, if you put your mind to something, you know, you could do it. And I feel like that's one of the truest statements. Anything you put your all into, if you give your all, you're gonna be successful, and if you really want to. And I firmly believe that.
Yeah, and I strongly agree with you. But yeah, man, like I can't see any other way that you don't if as long as you continue on this path, like you already, like I said earlier, you inspiring people that you probably don't even know right now. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, especially with men, we got these egos where we don't want to give it up to the next person. You know what I'm saying? So you probably got a lot of people out there that you're inspiring, but they got too much pride to tell you to your face. And that be going on a lot. So right now, before we get out of here, I want to stop and I want to pivot into this segment that I got called the 2-3. And this is a segment where I ask you 2 questions and you give me the best 3 answers that you can come up with. So first question, if you created a cartoon, name 3 other people that you would definitely want to have on your team. It can be people that created cartoons in the past. It can be other artists. It can be whatever you want. Even just somebody that can add commentary.
That be on my team, like,
that'd be on your team.
I mean, personally, I probably had to just, you know, just go from home. I say my 2 brothers, and one of my close friends named Ira. I know them 3 people, I feel like we already be working together, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we could create together. I'm already knowing we could do some magic. I'm already knowing.
Question number 2. If you can have a 30-minute conversation with anybody that's dead or alive, what 3 people would you choose to talk to?
That's a good question. I had to say Westbrook. That's my favorite basketball player.
Yeah, dog.
Who else? Man. J. Cole. J.
Mm.
Cole's my favorite rapper. And who else? Last person. Man, it gotta be an actor. Probably somebody like Will Smith or somebody.
Hell yeah, I love Will Smith. He one of my favorite actors, man. Like one of my favorite people in general.
Yeah.
I love Will Smith, man. But I wanna thank you, man, for taking the time out to chop it up with me, man. And hopefully that's not the last time. And anytime, anything you need as far as like media or what, if you got something that you want to talk about, don't hesitate to reach out. And whether it's on my platform or something that you want to personally do, I'm just letting you know, since this our first time talking face to face, that I'm in your corner, bro. Like whatever you need from me, don't even hesitate to ask.
Appreciate that.
But man, I hope everybody get in tune with Malachi, the right artist on Instagram. We're gonna attach some of his work to this video, and I'm gonna put a lot of people on as I've been doing. And man, I'm anxious to see your growth, man, because I know you got a lot more to do, and you got a long journey ahead of you, man. It's gonna be fun and exciting, man. And I'm glad I'm up on it early before it get too big, man.
Appreciate that. That's love.
For sure, man. Stay up, man. Love.
Likewise.